Dosha Lyfe TV back again. I ain't gonna keep this one too long. But what I want to speak on is gluttony. Understand this: the sins, the 7 deadly sins, are not something that's just religious law that people wrote. These are deadly sins or things. A sin is something that goes against God, right? But what you gotta understand is God is that soul within your being. So that means a sin is something that goes against self. If your God is your temple, you're a temple. Your temple is not who you are. You're the God that don't even exist here, but controls the temple. You gotta understand it's deeper than you think. Your DNA, which translates to God's word, it's like the White House. It's the government. It governs your temple and your mental. They send you spells or words, which becomes these thoughts that you think, or these thoughts, which are these spirits, thought forms. They send you spells or words, and these are the words you hear in your mind. You're just the person that observes these words. Okay, so with that being said, the reason why the sins that's the least talked about is the most dangerous. Think about it. We talk about the police all the time. They're not the most dangerous, it's the ones that run them that nobody talks about. Understand it's deeper than you think. Gluttony is the worst one. You know why? If you overeat, even if you eat healthy, everything you eat, your stomach is like another brain. Your stomach breaks down this food and it turns the energy into thoughts, which then sends spells or words to your brain. So you have two different kinds of spells that enter your brain. This is that angel and that devil on your shoulder. The ones that govern and help to keep you your best self, that's your DNA, that's your family, that you communicate using telepathy, whether they're dead or alive, you still communicate with them. That's them in your mind. Not all your ancestors on your team. Yeah, that's true, because some are still living and they still corrupt. You know, it's that deep. But the ones that's passed on, they're the ones. Because they see now. It's that deep. But now, look, with that being said, these things become thoughts. Your mind is like a government White House. This is like the White House. This is the White House. The skull, white means ruler of the land. That's the real meaning for the word white, not pale or whatever. You know, white, the real meaning before it became a color, meant ruler of the land. This is your land, your temple. This is the house. The house is the brain, where your mind operates and rules. Your DNA is how your body formed, how your brain functions and operates according to your system of thought. That's your natural system of thought. The things that you eat, not only by the foods, but the people you have sex with, also bring in these thought forms. Like if you're drinking fluid, bodily fluid, and stuff like that, it's no different than eating a pig that just got slaughtered. You know what I'm saying? You ate the emotions either way. You ate the emotional energy, or you ate the energy, or the spiritual energy frequency of that, and now that's part of your frequency. And if it's part of your frequency, that means these thoughts are going to hit your brain at one point, and it becomes a thought that you have to battle in your mind. People that has the least amount of self-discipline are those that have too many thoughts hitting their brain at one time, and you can barely hear the thoughts. It's still quiet once that's their DNA. That's their true self. So they have a hard time making decisions. A lot of times they have a hard time processing thoughts because it takes so long to get to the thought they want. Because it's like a bunch of people in a lineup with the wrong decision, with the right one being your ancestor in the lineup. And you got to go like, nope, nope. It's like you're swiping Tinder, the spirits in your head when you're thinking and processing decisions. It's that deep. So when you eating a lot and overeating, understand that your brain to a certain extent has to work twice as harder. That's why you're sleepy if you overeat. Your brain has to work twice as hard. You put all that work on your answer. It's like slapping a bunch of paperwork of orders to process before they have to send these thoughts to wherever they go. Or if these beneficial to us or if they're not. If they're not beneficial, you know where it goes? Your essential oils. What's that? Your fat cells. Oil stored spirits. You extract the oil from a weed plant, you just extracted everything that gets you high. You extract the oil from a lavender plant. That's all the benefits and the medicinal effects of that plant. It's that deep. So that's why gluttony can be a bad thing, because gluttony, when one overeats, that's when one's actually opens themselves up to not being able to function and process in their mind. Even if it's all good thoughts, then they'll just shut their mind down and they'll be tired. And if it's things that don't serve them, they'll add to their fluffy weights. An empath most empaths put on weight. Most empaths are overweight. There's a lot that lose weight. But let me tell you something. Empaths, they put on weight because they store on the energy. They store the energy of all those that they encounter with. They store the energy of those that they love. A mother starts putting on weight during pregnancy because she's taking on all that emotional energy, you know what I'm saying, and holding on to it for the sake of her baby. You know what I'm saying? When you detox stress, you detox weight. People that's overweight are stressed. And it's not a bad thing to say that. It is neither that or they're happy. It depends on whatever emotion they house the most. You gotta understand. They're either easily angered or easily saddened. And that's not a good or bad thing. It depends on male, female. A male empath, he's either easily angered or he's just shut down emotionally. He just don't care. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa. They're either easily saddened or they're easily happy. It's like their emotional state is just, it'll jump, it'll fluctuate. That's all. It's just a fluctuating emotional state because y'all understand these emotions are spirits that store in oil. And when you store them in your vessel, and every time one feels something, y'all feel it's like a wave of water. You know what I'm saying? And emotions is like the energy of water. It flows like water. I done got off subject, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? And these foods, they play and manipulate our emotions through food. Even deeper, before 5G, we still had 2G, 3G, 4G. What they would do is they'll pump these meats that they butchered alive, which is blood sacrifice. They'll butcher meat alive. Any eating meat, period, is blood sacrifice. I'm not saying blood sacrifice is bad when it comes to meats. But what I'm saying is, every time you buy food from the store, they butchered it alive on purpose. Just so that agony, which is the spirit of agony, will store in that meat. And you eat that meat, and then you store that spirit. And now you feel agony, you feel fear, you feel all the energies that animal was fearing when it died. Because when our ancestors killed meat, they would butcher them. I mean, they would shoot them when they wasn't paying attention to the animal would die at peace. Or if it was like the chicken's a warrior spirit that would sacrifice that chicken for protection in the astral realm or anything of that nature. And the chicken will go out brave in this realm because the chicken, even when it's by the neck, you know, even when you got it by the neck, you know what I'm saying, it's still, you know what I'm saying, brave. Anybody that eats meat, period, you participate in blood sacrifice. It's that simple. They butcher these animals alive. You eat that energy. The energy transfers through your stomach, and it becomes thoughts. You think these thoughts of fear and torture, just like the animal. They're not killing these animals in peace. You're not killing your own animals. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is. So there's levels to this. There's a lot of things. And then when you overeat these things, you overeat these fears, you overeat these emotions. And blood sacrifice will hit you harder than, you know what I'm saying, a regular thought process. It will hit you because it's another organism. It's another spirit of an organism in your being. Therefore, your brain's going to process it just as loud as it processes your DNA's thoughts. This is why some people are compromised until they detox meat. They do not even think for themselves. They're possessed under the spirits, you know what I'm saying, or the parasitic energies that was bound to these meats. You know what I'm saying? They're possessed by these things. They don't see what possession is. It's not something that you see on TV with a child turning his head around 4 times. It's not that shit that you see on scary movie. Possession is basically whatever you indulge in, you're possessed under the spirit of. If I smoke weed all the time, you know what I'm saying, I'm possessed by the spirit of weed. Everything has a spirit. Everything is alive. Weed, cannabis, Cain Anubis, the Canis major star system in Anubis. That's the gatekeeper. Any gatekeeper loves weed. If you have an altar, you got a spirit, gatekeepers, whatever, you put weed on it, they would love that shit. Everything is a spirit. Tobacco, tobacco. Shoot, you smoke that, it wars away negative energy. It's just like sage. You roll it with the weed, it's a ritual, it's a candle. You smoke weed, everything you do is voodoo because this entire world is a spiritual matrix. What y'all need to be worried about is that artificial matrix that they create with that AI. But that's another video. So, you know, I'm going to let y'all, yeah, with that being said, you're not hungry, you get cravings. I can go 30 days without eating and feel fine. If I'm eating sunlight, you get energy, you're fine. Just your stomach contracts, that might feel weird. Other than that, that's it. You're never hungry. And the only thing that tired is when your body's processing toxins and it overwhelms your heart. It makes you feel tired. It makes your heart feel tired. That's what tired is. Detox from toxins, you never even get tired. So, it's levels to this. So, Dosha Lyfe TV, like, subscribe, hit the cash out. I'm speaking on some real shit, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, fuck with me.